Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch land. We are back, we are live, and we are unapologetically so, as we say every week. We have a bit more light on us this time, so that's exciting. Ben is here, he's going to be logging on remotely to join us for tonight's session, but we are here to have a little fun. I will say too that tonight's episode does come with a very special message. It's being sponsored by our friends over at Strike Deck Dinos. And if you want to make sure you can grab yourself a copy on their website, it is a great dinosaur game. Small tin, massive battles. Check it out. It's going to be fantastic. Otherwise, folks, let's get ready. Let's get ourselves organized, and we are going to have some fun. Here we go. Good evening, all folks. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt, and I'm going to be your Dungeon Master for this evening for episode 4 of our Lost Mine of Phandelver campaign. As always, our crazy Yetnet Dragon Boy is here. Madam Charlotte, say hello to everybody, please. Hi. Yes, the chaos is real. I'm not even going to lie. And I'm going to bring in a very special gentleman who is going to be helping us out this evening. Will you please welcome Mr. Ben Wood, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully I can bring a little bit of sanity back to it. Rein Yetnet in a little bit.
You can do your best, I can tell you right now. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. We are indeed fighting a big dragon this evening. Well, you're not necessarily in combat yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens and what transpires. It's all going to be a bit crazy, but at the same time, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Just to recap, folks, as well, we're going to get back into the thick of it, let you all know what's been happening as we play some D&D.
Previously on HPG D&D Live Junior. Having witnessed Glasstaff attempting a getaway by a runaway wagon, Yetnet, Nitro, and Sildar gave chase on horseback, tracking him along the Tribor Trail and engaging in fast-paced combat. Damaging one of Glasstaff's horses and taking out a carriage wheel sent the entire wagon careening into the southern parts of the Neverwinter Wood, and the vehicle crashed into trees, sending the mage flying into the dirt. Having captured and restrained the mage, an interrogation began, and Sildar confirmed that Glasstaff was indeed Iano Olbrich, former member of the Lord's Alliance and friend to Sildar, turned by the Black Spider's promises of riches. When asked about the whereabouts of Gundren Rockseeker, the mage, under some duress, directed the party to the Ruins of Thundertree to the north. Sildar confirmed that this could be a viable lead, and the group, with Iano slung over a horse, made their way to the ruined village. Once arriving at Thundertree and exploring the area, Yetnet awoke a group of Twigblights and was forced to do battle with the beasts, with Nitro and his Drake helping with the fray. This commotion drew the attention of a group of masked figures in long black cloaks, who introduced themselves as the Cult of the Dragon. Their leader, a human named Favrik, stated that they desired to speak and befriend the young green dragon that resided in the tower in the village, and that perhaps they may be able to assist in talks with the beast. Agreeing to help, the heroes made their way with 4 of the cultists to the tower and came face to face with the dragon in its roost. It was then that the true intention of the Cult of the Dragon became clear, as Favrik offered up both Yetnet and Nitro to the dragon as sacrifices.
And there you are. That brings you all up to speed, and we are now ready to continue on our adventure facing down with this green dragon. When we last finished, Favrik had literally just stepped forward and offered our friends up as sacrifices. And in that reaction, I guess, how would you like to respond?
He's doing the talking, not me.
So I've been dobbed in for this one. I will step forward, Nitro, with my little Drake companion next to me, and stand next to our traitorous person. And I'll look at the dragon and I'll say, before anything happens from here, would you mind hearing a story from me before we go much further? And I'll say that in Draconic.
Okay, so the green dragon has made a few gruff noises, some heavy breathing from its snout. Its head's been peaked at the comment that Fabric has made about offering up the sacrifices. But watching you, this little halfling, step forward and have this drake upon your shoulder, you seem to catch the dragon's gaze, and it turns to you. A story, you say?
Yes, a very interesting one. You see, I don't have this drake for no reason. This is a gift from a drake that I have met previously, or a dragon, I should say, called Igneous Fireside, that I've managed to meet previously. And he has a very interesting tale to tell of these particular people that seem to want to help you gain food or favor with them. And I wish to let you know what you might be getting into.
The green dragon lifts a claw and gently sort of strokes its chin and starts nuzzling at one of its wings. While that's happening, I need you to roll a persuasion check, please.
This will be fun. Well, what's persuasion on my character?
-6.
+2. Well, it's a natural 20 +2. If I ever needed a natural 20, it is now.
You did. Getting it, Sydney going, nat 20, nat 20, nat 20. Oh, we got it. Okay, so the dragon has a big motor car out the back and is just torn out of the driveway. So the green dragon sort of turns back to you and says, in perfect draconic, almost disregarding the cultists in the room altogether, please do continue.
The last time that I spoke with, and I call Ignis my master because, for lack of a better term, that's what we are. He is a great red ancient dragon that was under the thumb of this cult group. They spend their time attempting to subdue dragons such as yourself that may not have the years of experience in dealing with certain people into their fold and use them for bad purposes or as pets, for lack of a better word. So we have been sent, this is my dragon friend here, we have been sent to hopefully dissuade dragons of your kind from bowing to their will. That is what our mission has been since we have left our home up near Neverwinter quite some time ago.
The dragon listens to your story with great interest, and at this point, Fabric steps forward, almost a bumbling servant at this point. Please, my wonderful scaly friend, do not listen and do not worry about these small, insignificant people. They are merely presented to you as sacrifices by our order to appease you. And as he's bumbling along and bumbling along, carrying on through this phrase, the young green dragon just literally just goes, and Fabric flies across the wall and smacks back against the wall. And there he is. Sorry, Fabric backs against the wall and it just sort of crumples in a heap. You can see that he's still breathing, but he looks somewhat unconscious, for lack of a better term. The dragon gets a single claw finger with a very sharp sort of talon on its end, and it sort of turns to you, Nitro, and just slowly beckons you forward. Please, my young friend, come forward. I wish to know more.
I will take a few cautious steps towards him, stroking my little drake that I have on my shoulder at the time.
And the dragon sort of leans forward and stares at this drake upon your shoulder. Interesting. I would have thought that something like this would only be found in certain parts, yet here you are. You say you have traveled a great distance?
We have, yes. We've been trying to thwart the cultists here. Been on our way. We've completed a few missions for other vanguards out there to earn some money to help us continue on our quest. And you are by far the first dragon that we have found that has been at least in talks with these. Well, I won't call them people, but creatures that try to abduct people like yourself and persuade them into their fold, which we don't really like that. I'd rather see dragons free as they should be.
As they should be, of course. Being able to fly free and explore the wilds, that's all we want for ourselves. We mean no one any harm. And while this has been going on, the three sort of remaining cultists, one of them has made their way over to Fabric to try to sort of revive him. The other two are listening to the conversation, and they start to seem a bit on edge, a bit uneasy about how this is going. The dragon steps forward, leans, cranes its neck forward towards you, Nitro, and it puts you in a position where you are almost within 10 feet of this dragon's maw. You, my young friend, what is your name?
My name is Nitro. Drakehand is my full name. And this one here with me is Yetnet.
Yetnet? And the dragon indicates your shoulder.
Oh, not this one, sorry. The big one behind me, the Dragonborn.
And with that wave, the green dragon lifts its head and it comes towering over the top, almost 20 feet above Nitro's head. And you just see it stare down. Ah, one of the impure ones, it seems. What brings you to my tower, Dragonborn?
Don't ask me. Ask the guy who pushed on the wall.
He is of no consequence to me.
He was the one who brought us up here.
He did?
Yes.
For what purpose? He seems to offer you up a sacrifice. What say you to that? Your hesitation seems to sort of, there's a flicker of anger with the dragon, and it seems to be getting a little bit impatient. It pulls its head back and turns its attention back to Nitro and stares him down and just sort of looks it down and says, "You want peace, you say?
Yes.
We want peace as well. Us green dragons, all we wish to do is to ensure peace and the longevity of our kind. I can see between the two of you that you are the most formidable amongst you here, and I wish no battle. I have no quarrel. Surely we can come to some sort of arrangement." And the dragon starts to just gently move slightly southward on the tower, freeing up, and you can see there's a few knickknacks and other bits and pieces, some sort of treasure trove or a chest or something that looks like it's been beaten within an inch of its life, as the dragon sort of slowly makes its way around the outside of the chamber.
I mean, we don't mean you any harm. I mean, this is your lair from what I can see here. I don't wish to trespass. We were in the company of these four creatures, and they wanted us to come up here to help negotiate your surrender to them, and that's what we were here to do. But that's not my plan at all. I'm here to hopefully thwart their plan. That's all my presence is for. And Yetnet here is one of my friends. She's been with us for some time, and she's helped dragons along the way as best she can.
The green dragon turns its head back towards you, Nitro, as it starts to make its way around the outside of the tower. "Surrender, say they. We would never do such a thing. As
Not a proud creature such as
strive to be
yourself.
free.
No.
Repeat yourself."
Sorry, a proud creature such as yourself should never, ever give in to the likes of these things. You're the one that should be ruling them, not the other way around.
My friend Nitro, flattery will get you everywhere. And the dragon continues to move around the outside of the tower. You can see that there is a lot of knickknacks, obviously some stuff that's been pillaged from around the ruins, things like that. The gaping hole is no longer above where the dragon first landed. It's made its way around, so it's no longer directly beneath the hole. But it seems like there seems to be a purpose to the movement. You can't exactly tell what it is, but there seems to be some sort of purpose.
Well, I mean, it's up to you how you wish to proceed. I mean, we're here to merely serve, and hopefully we can move on and help the next dragon along the journey. But it is, of course, up to yourself. I mean, we're at your whim at this point. We are pretty much stuck in a room with you, for lack of a better term. So I came here of my own volition to warn you at absolute least of what these people were going to do to you. So that's it's your call what you would like of us.
And it is appreciated. I do appreciate a good warning, especially when people mean me ill harm. But they do come forth offering tribute as such in the form of a sacrifice. And there is nothing to prevent me from having a snack or so.
Of course, but I would hope that if you chow down on these people first, that might spare a little spot in your stomach later on for the rest of them when they decide to move up here. As I dare say, when they start hearing that their comrades are being consumed or destroyed, that they may come up here. I hope they don't, but...
There is one thing, my friend Nitro, that I do respect. It is me being such an intelligent creature. I do wish to be appreciated as much as I give out appreciation. And you, my friend, have done something rather unkind. You have not yet asked my name.
That was, of course, my next question of you. But as I said, I'm here to warn, and I'm here to gather appreciation. And if you do let us go from here with your name attached, we will, by means, sing your praise as far as we can.
My praises?
Yes, I mean, you've been very kind to us. You haven't eaten us straight away or flicked us against the wall like this one. And hopefully a tale like this will deter more from coming up here to try and attack you, so to speak. So I would rather see you in your glory and be free.
You may call me, my good friend, Venom Fang.
Venom Fang. That is a great name. I do like that one.
And at this point, I need you both to roll perception checks, please.
Perception. Oh. We know how good I've been with those so far.
Guys.
Perception, please.
That'd be a 15.
A 15, yeah. Come on, Yetnet. No, perception, not persuasion. Oh, that is a 6. Okay. So while this exchange is going on and the dragon has been moving around, the good thing is, because Nitro, because you're further in front and sort of in between the dragon and Yetnet, you see out of the corner of your eye a bit of a slither, and you realize almost just a bit too late, the tail of the dragon has been moving cautiously around behind the action as the dragon has moved around the room. You do see the tail, and you will have a chance to take some sort of action if you want to before whatever the tail's going to do.
I don't think it's a tail. I don't think it's a tail.
I've just said it's a tail, so it's a tail.
It's a tail. Okay.
So your perception, you don't notice this is happening. So Nitro, you obviously see this out of the corner of your eye.
Okay, I'm just looking at it.
What am I going to do?
Oh, decisions.
Oh, frig. I don't know what I'm going to do for this one. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a fog cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So around me, a 20-foot radius sphere of fog is going to go around us.
Yetnet is just inside that radius, so you can do that. So you cast this fog, and it just you make it just, there's this cloud that just appears around the place. It surrounds both of you in this thick grey mist that swirls from around you, and you can see that Venom Fang steps back all of a sudden, just it launches back a little bit, and you see the tail snaking around, and it sort of stops in its tracks. And you can see that it was actually headed around. It looks like one of your cultist friends was potentially going to be the target of some sort of sneaky little deception that was going on with this tail. Venom Fang gasps and looks a bit bewildered and a bit, taken aback that obviously he'd been clever enough to see what was going on. You filthy little halfling! Where have you gone? What have you done?
I apologize. It's merely a precaution, I say as I'm moving at least 10 foot in another direction as quietly as I bloody well can.
Which direction would you like to move?
Hopefully.
You know what? I think it's time. I'm gonna bring it in. Here we go. There we go. Just so we can see what's going on, everyone. Here we are. So the fog cloud is effectively surrounding both of you here. Which direction would you like to move?
I'm hopefully going back towards the door we came into. And if
Yep,
I
so
can
you're gonna move
remember
back
where
to
the
it now?
tail is, I want to steer away from his tail.
Okay, so you move 10 feet this way, further into the cloud. Okay, so you're further back.
And I want to be
which is
quiet.
fantastic.
Hopefully I disappear from his view if it's possible. Well,
Yeah.
not view from senses.
Well, you're inside the cloud. Venomfang has a remembers roughly where you are. And as you step back, you hear this as this tail slices through the fog exactly where you were standing. Obviously, you've stepped back, so you've actually missed the blow. And the Venomfang lifts its head up over the top of the fog cloud. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Get back here. You cannot defy me.
Can we just run down now?
You want to make a break for it?
Yes.
I want
yes.
to... Hang on. I can't really signal her. I want to move stealthily, yet very quickly as I can, out of this room. So hopefully he doesn't see us.
Okay, if you use your full speed, you will emerge from the other side of the cloud of fog.
All right, let's just make a break for it then, Yetnet. Let's get out of here.
I'm 30 feet.
All right, so you're gonna leg it.
Book it.
Can we run
Out of it.
quietly?
Okay, you are going to let's see. We're going to make your way out. I need you to roll athletics, please, both of you.
Oh, what's my athletics? Can't use acrobatics, can I?
No, you cannot. Not if you're legging it. If you were jumping, maybe.
It's a decent roll of 18 on the dice, but I get no bonuses to it.
11.
Okay, so Nitro, you're able to book it, and you'll actually make your way out. The question is, you've got a cultist who might try to prevent. I need you to roll a grapple roll.
What's a grapple roll?
Oh, what am I trying to beat here? Is it strength?
Strength, yes.
Make
Straight roll.
strength. 16?
The cultist rolls an 18 and stops you from advancing any further. So you're actually here. The cultist is here. He's actually grappling with you and preventing you from leaving. Yetnet, you rolled an 11, which gets you just outside the cloud, and that's about it. At this point, with the cultist holding on to you and Venomfang now moving around cautiously, you probably have... Venomfang can't actually see what's going on behind the cloud. Venomfang is going to make a pass to come around the outside. You probably have about 6 to 10 seconds before Venomfang will be able to see you.
He rolled an 18. I'm good. Cool. Sorry, fog cloud's a concentration spell, so I had to roll my con save.
Yeah, you're good. So what did you want to do? You would have a chance to shout something out or call out to each other if you wanted to. You can see each other now.
I'm just going to say, Yetnet, run. And I'm going to pull my short swords out if I can. And I want to try and stick this guy as best I can while he's holding on to me.
Okay.
Yep, sure.
Can I just run out the door?
You make another athletics check to see if you can get out of the room. Roll well, Yetnet.
Oh, come on.
11, 12.
So the benefit of this is you can move, you can get half distance. So you're going to get you can either go the other side of the cultist or you can go the other side of Nitro. Yeah, okay, so you move here. All right. And if you wish, you can, I guess effectively you need to roll initiative as well because you're going to be in combat with the cultist.
All right, so initiative. Oh, Jesus Christ. How can I roll good for initiative? 22 for initiative.
22, yeah.
12, 13, 14.
Okay, so you're up first, Nitro.
Okay, I'm trying to stick him.
Go for it.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so I can re-roll ones, correct? Because I'm a halfling.
Yes. You lucky bugger.
What's that going to be? 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that's a D6 plus something. That's a 5 plus it's 8. I'm going to mark him as my foe. So I get an extra D4 to that as well. That's 1. What did I say? So that's 9 points of damage for the main hit. If my Drake's on me, I want to add an extra D6 to this to try and kill him in one go. That's another 5 points of fire damage.
Oh. Okay, so...
Is he still standing?
The fire damage, is that just straight fire damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you manage to wriggle free enough while this cultist is holding you down. You bring your knives out, and as you're attacking him, the Drake leaps off your shoulder and just this gout of fire straight at this guy's chest. This fella here is effectively thrown back against the wall and is slumped in the chair and is just slowly engulfing him in flames. He's not getting up. He's out of action, well and truly taken the life of that cultist. He is no more.
Good.
However, while this is happening, our friend here, Venomfang, has made his way around the side of the tower. And as he passes this other cultist, he literally just gets his clawed hand and just goes crunch right across this cultist's head and throws the body against the wall. So this cultist here has effectively just been smashed forward. And the green dragon's head snaps to where you two are located now that Venomfang can see you. You won't get away so easy! And he starts to charge towards you. You have, speed-wise, you are exactly 40 feet away, which is Venomfang's speed without flight. So what would you like to do?
Carry on.
I would like to book it. I want to try and get out of here.
Come on. Acrobatics. Sorry, that was a lot.
Yetnet, you can make it out of the tower from where you are, but you're a little bit further away. What's your speed, Nitro?
25, because I'm a halfling. My Drake, I could use him as a decoy. I'd rather not. No, I won't use him as a decoy.
Okay, you will need to make an athletics check for me.
Couldn't have picked freaking acrobatics.
No. Well, you're not doing stunts.
Well, I could be doing stunts like, tipping off the wall and trying to bounce down
cartwheels and stuff. Parkour.
I will re-roll that natural one again into a 15, so it helps.
15? Is that the total?
Total, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you make it work. So you actually make your way. You're both outside in this little chamber here, just outside of Venomfang's vision. Venomfang is going to move 40 feet and come around the side and is rounding on you. You can make your way outside. It's up to you what you want to do from here, but Venomfang is obviously closing the gap.
I'm going to look at Yetnet. What are we doing?
Run.
Sweet, let's go.
Okay. So you both make your way out of the room and you start to run your way down the pathway. So if you remember, here we go, Thundertree's there. You've got the pathway from the tower leading back into the centre part of town. So you start to make your way down this path, just running full tilt as best you can to get away from this thing. And that's when you hear scream, and you realise that it's a dragon and it has wings and it's made a dirty hole in the tower and it has taken flight and is coming down to try and find out where you are. It's literally just emerged from the tower looking for where you are. What are you going to do?
I'll be like,
Can we,
get in the trees.
What?
In the trees?
You've got to hide.
Yes.
Roll for stealth.
Okay.
I'm normally good at this.
19, 20.
Wow, dirty
You've got a
20
natural
from Yetnet.
20.
Natural 20?
No, not me.
No, dirty 20.
Oh, dirty 20, right.
Dirty 20.
Roll one. Plus 7, 23 total.
23. Okay, so you both managed. Now, question. Are you both hiding in one place or are you splitting up? What are you going to do?
What do you think, Yetnet?
Hiding in one place,
One place? Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so you move off into the scrub and you basically just dive into the dirt. You hear this as his wings, his huge wings spread out, start flapping around, and you just hear, and you feel this rush of air and this acid fog of breath just lance down the road where you were just standing. And obviously it doesn't collect you, but some of the trees that are in that area start to disintegrate from this acid burp that this venom fang has just gouted out everywhere. And you hear the dragon swoop down over the ruins of Thundertree. You can hear it sort of swooping around down by where you saw those spider webs in the previous session. You hear lots of swooping and cursing, and you hear in Draconic some insults as this dragon is just absolutely pissed off that you've denied it a bit of a meal. As it continues to flap around, it can't seem to find where you've gone. You do hear in the distance a slightly terse voice. Get out of here! Get out of here! What are you doing? Get out of here! It sounds, you don't recognize the voice. It's something else, something totally different. However, that is something to consider. There is a dragon flying around, and you left 2 people at the town square at the well that you drank all the water out of. What would you like to do?
Who did we leave down at the... Oh, we actually left Sildar down there, did we?
Yes!
Sildar,
no! Right.
Oh.
So Yetnet, how do we get strategic from here?
I don't want to leave the tree, that's the only thing.
You're a stake hidden.
I want to just stick someplace in the dirt.
Well, what abilities do you have that can get us out of trouble? What can you make a distraction? Can you do something?
Let me see. I have an idea. I can eat the way through the trees and make stick miniatures out of us.
Stick miniatures?
Yeah.
You want to make fake Yetnet and fake Nitro and create decoys that way?
Can I just eat the tree?
You can take a bite out of it if you want to. You've got teeth.
And then I can make a sculpture.
That is entirely up to you.
Yes.
How is that going to distract a dragon, though?
Well, if we had a piece of string we could tie it to the wood, and then we could put something that makes a lot of noise, and then something that just can go boom, 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 like that.
Some sort of auditory decoy.
Boom, 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 boom.
Well, do I still have that on this one? I could probably do something like what you're saying with a spell, if you like. I can make some noise somewhere else.
I'll do the stick miniatures, you do that spelly spells.
Okay, I'll do the spelly stuff then.
All right, you roll survival for me for your crafting abilities.
I love this idea. This is crazy,
okay,
but it's so cool.
While Nitro, you were doing your thing and getting ready for this spell, what sort of spell is it, by the way?
Thaumaturgy.
That's what I thought. Okay, so while you're getting ready to cast that, Yetnet is just seeing this dragonborn start champing away at tree bark and branches and just trying to form little figures. The figures are slightly not to scale in terms of how they work, but from a distance, they're probably about 1/8 of your size by the time she is done and ready for your spell to be
It
cast.
takes me about 2 hours to finish me.
No, it doesn't take it that long. They're not the most amazingly well built of things, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's fine.
Aww.
Where are you casting Thaumaturgy?
Definitely near
Back
us.
towards the tower, but the left side of the tower, so the west side. So hopefully it can distract over there somewhere. Yep. And when Yetnet's ready, I don't know what she's going to do, but we'll try and stealth our way back the other way towards the well, I dare say.
Okay, so where are you throwing? Are you throwing them into the street for public viewing? What are you going to do with your decoys?
Okay, so
Let's see.
okay. So I'm gonna carry the decoys when Nitro's going behind it. So like we're chopping away at the tower.
So you're going to try and throw them back up towards the tower?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So that's
we're
uphill.
chopping away at the top. the tower.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, so from what I understand, you're going to cast Thaumaturgy, make some sort of noisy distraction. At the same time, Yetnet is just going to hurl these decoys, these little stick figures she's made, up towards the tower to see if that draws the dragon away. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so go ahead and do your thing. So Thaumaturgy happens?
Thaumaturgy just kind of happens.
Yep, that just happens, and there's this sort of a boom, like an earth-shattering sound that just sort of vibrates from the western side of the cottage next to the tower. At the same time, Yetnet sticks her head out and just launches these two little figures that are about so big. They're only about a foot in size. There's one that's slightly smaller because it's a halfling, and they hurtle through the air in spectacular fashion, and they land. Actually, can you roll? Let's see. Roll a dex. Just roll a straight dex roll for me. Dexterity.
Dexterity.
So D20 plus 2.
16, 19.
That's a 19. Okay.
20, 21.
So as you hurl them forward, they fly through the air in spectacular fashion, and you see there's like a pool of that acid in the middle of the pathway, and there's sort of dots of little pools of acid. They manage to land in the only safe spot in this area, and you just see Yetnet just go, yes, as they land in perfect view, ready for the dragon. And you hear this whoop, 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 as the dragon circles around and comes back forward, listening to Thaumaturgy, and sees these figures from a distance. And you see as this dragon dives down.
Okay, let's go hide behind the trees. Again.
So you're making your way.
We need to get down to the well and get the other two out of here.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Well, and then we're making a break for it.
Yep.
Okay, so you make your way over towards the well.
Quietly.
Our friend. Say again.
Quietly.
Okay. So you make your way forward. You don't have to roll stealth because the dragon's obviously dealing with Thaumaturgy and everything else and isn't paying attention. Venomfang has flown over towards the western side of the tower, and you hear this squeal of glee at seeing something lying in the middle of the path, and you just see the dragon disappear below the tree line as you leg it over to where Sildar and Iano are waiting. You make your way into the clearing. You can see the remains. There's still a smouldering remains of one of the twig lights that was set on fire earlier, just sort of simmering and smouldering in the corner. And Sildar is sort of looking to the skies with a worried look on his face, and Iano has like this crazy grin on his face, like he's just enjoying this entire exchange. But my friends, there was a green with some rings in it.
Let's go. We will talk about it in a second. Let's go. Get out of here. Let's move.
Let's see what Nitro says. Let's get out of here.
All right, so
We can talk about this later.
you mount up.
Yep, let's go. We're just getting on the horse and then we're running.
Where are you headed?
Thundertree.
You're in Thundertree.
Oh.
Into the tree line, hopefully, to get out of sight of this thing.
To the east?
What direction did we need to continue in? Oh, actually, where did we hear the other people? Was that somewhere nearby?
The other voice you heard was from the west.
We're going to double back and head down towards the west then.
Okay, which way are you headed? So from the well, are you heading southward and then westward, or west southwest towards?
Do we go southwest and then follow the main path down, or do we go? Oh, we have
Which way do you
to.
want to go?
Let's head that way, back the way we came, essentially.
Yep.
So rather than going through the curved path of the tower, you head southwest, past the front of those buildings with the spidery bits, and then down
And try and
across to the west.
retrace where we heard those voices come from, or voice.
All right, so you on your horses now. You can travel, twice as fast, and you gallop forward. There doesn't seem to be any sense of decorum or care anymore. You're just booking it as fast as you can. As you travel past the place that has all the spider webs, you hear a skittering noise, and you see a couple of giant spiders start to slowly make their way out of this opening inside this cottage. But you were just too fast, and you ride right past them, and you see them sort of claw out, sort of looking around, seeing what's going on, and then you hear that piercing again from Venomfang, and the spiders quickly skitter away back inside, obviously terrified of this flying beast. You manage to turn. There's a fork in the road. You can head northwest, or you can head southwest.
South.
Can I try and pinpoint where the people have gone? Is there any footprints or if I just have a quick look around, can I see any marks?
Roll investigation for me.
Can I do that too?
Yes.
Just in case.
As a backup. Yeah, that rolls investigation. That's a good noise.
I get nothing from it. Natural 20, but I get nothing else to it.
Okay, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's not going to bother me. Okay, so you roll investigation. So in terms of looking around, as you quickly pull up on your horse at the fork in the road, you can see that there is the track leading northwest is more barren. It seems quite clear, devoid of any sort of foot traffic of any kind. You can see that looking southwest, there is a bit more of what looks like a lived-in area. Incidentally, it's past the place where you first came into town, and you can see on your right-hand side as you make your way down the south of the path, there's that same building that has the firmed-up doors, and everything's sort of been reinforced, and the building still looks quite well-to-do.
Does it look like someone's home or someone's left?
The doors are sealed. They're locked, as far as you can tell. They're closed. There is a little bit of a puff of smoke emerging from what looks to be some sort of chimney.
Well, there's someone here. We've got to go in.
Yeah, because
this is where
if
the
there was
dwarf
no
was
one
supposed
in
to
the
be held,
house,
right?
then the fireplace wouldn't be going.
That's correct.
This is where the dwarf was supposed to be held, though, isn't it?
I remember what Iano said. Iano said that he believed that Gundren was being held at Thundertree.
Yeah, so let's just knock on the door quietly, like.
Okay. So you ride down. Is that you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Yetnet steps forward. There's a slight knock at the door, and you hear nothing for a moment, and then there's a slight commotion. You hear what sounds like a thud, and then a crunch as something has fallen over, and then you hear a couple of footsteps, and you hear from behind the door, "Go away! Go away, you fools!"
What was the dwarf's name? That we were
The
supposed
dwarf's
to
name. The dwarf's name.
Yeah, the one we were supposed to come and save.
Gundren Rockseeker.
I'll say, Gundren, get out here now.
Gundren? Who the hell is Gundren? What are
Who
you
the hell are
doing?
you?
Who the hell am I? What are you doing in my village?
Not your village anymore. There's a bloody green dragon out here. Either get out here so we can help
That's
you.
why I'm inside, you dolt. And
Well, we nearly got eaten, okay? So can we please come in, please?
and you're going to get eaten if you stay outside, for goodness sake.
Well,
And as you hear some locks and things, and you hear a couple of bolts slide, and you see the wood of the door that's been reinforced by some iron plating start to almost retract and bend a little bit, which seems somewhat unnatural. And the door itself opens out into two parts, and there's a strange guy in a yellow robe with a big white beard standing in the doorway, and he sort of looks quite gruff. Come on, get in. And he beckons you both inside, along with Sildar and Iano.
I'll dismount. We'll bring the horses in as well.
Okay, can we just tiptoe in so the dragon doesn't know what that...
No, don't bring the horses inside. You don't leave it for the dragon. It'll distract the dragon. Gosh, this is my home. You can't bring livestock in here, man.
Well, can we just hide behind the house then?
This is all right. Bring them through. We'll take them out the back. That's fine. And it's then that as you're coming into the house and you're leading horses through this person's living room, there is a moment where Yano's sort of pushed in and he's sort of bound and gagged, and he's sort of looking around, taking it all in. He seems to be impressed with some of the features that are in this space. Sildar then walks through the door. Oh, my friend. Oh, my friend, it's so good to finally see you alive again. I did not know what was going on with the dragon and everything else. And then the man in yellow turns to Sildar. Sildar, what on earth are you doing this far north, you silly man? What are you doing here? This is ridiculous.
Don't talk to my friend like that.
And he turns to you, and this man in yellow stares straight down his really, really sharp, crooked nose. I've been around things a lot more than you have, my dear. Please keep your stuff to yourself and don't interfere with matters you don't understand. And Sildar turns and says, "It's all right, Redoth, it's fine. These are my friends, Yetnet and Nitro. They're here to help. And this man, who apparently is called Redoth, seems to calm, but there's still a sense of urgency in his voice. Please, you need to make your way inside. Come here, come and sit down. Be quiet, and hopefully we'll be rid of that dragon once and for all. And you hear this scream as the dragon sort of obviously disengages from whatever distraction you've tried to muster, and then obviously is now circling above you once more.
I'll turn to Sildar and be like, "You really do get around, don't you?"
To Sildar?
Yeah.
Well, when one is part of the Lord's Alliance and has served for as long as I have, you get to know a few people and see a few things. And I believe I did actually mention that Redoth might be someone who might be able to help us find where Gundren would be located, but that seemed to have fallen on deaf ears, as it were. And Redoth then turns and sort of acknowledges the two of you. Don't you know you're supposed to listen to your elders? What's wrong with you both?
Excuse me, I have no parents.
How old are you again? That's me asking this man with a beard and Sildar. How old are you two again?
That's a very, very, very indelicate question to be asking someone of my station.
You're 100 years old, I'm guessing.
And he roll intimidate persuasion. That's cocked. Roll again.
Okay. 16.
That's a bit better. Okay. So, 100 years. My dear, I'll have you know that I've been around a lot longer than that.
150?
Let's not play a guessing game. There's a dragon here, for goodness sake. Sildar turns to you, Nitro. Well, I've been around for quite some time, and I'm pushing my twilight years. Redoth here ages in a much more peculiar fashion.
So he ages slower then? Kind of like a halfling would?
I wouldn't say halfling. Maybe. Well, Redoth, am I? Redoth sort of turns to Sildar and then turns to both of you. Oh, it doesn't really matter if he knows I'm a druid or not. I don't care about that. There's a green dragon flying overhead, man.
Yeah, there is.
And there's no reaction from any of you. Redoth turns to you all. What? You still haven't told me what it is you're doing here.
Okay. Well, just yesterday we were in a wagon chase with Glasstaff over there.
Glasstaff? That's Yano.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I call him other names.
I
I don't say
took
them
his
out loud.
Glasstaff away from you.
So it seems Yano's up to his old tricks then, is he? Causing mischief and trouble and everything else. I told you, Sildar. I told you.
Mischief and trouble don't go close to what this little turd nugget's been telling people and doing.
Yeah.
And Sildar turns to Redoth and sort of says, look, yes, it appears that our friend here, Mr. Albrecht, has been entrenched with someone calling themselves the Black Spider. And there's an instant reaction from Redoth. He recognizes the name exponentially, and he sort of recoils and withdraws, almost withdrawing within himself, thinking internally about everything that's just transpired. The Black Spider, you say? That is a name that has been heard many times over these past few weeks.
Yano's working for him.
Yes, we've just established that. He poses a great threat to this realm and a great threat to these lands, and me being part of the enlightened enclave, I wish to put a stop to it, but I have nowhere to begin.
Well, we're actually trying to find, what's the dwarf's name again? Gundren.
The
Gundren Rockseeker.
The Rockseeker brothers? What have they got to do with all of this?
Well, no, it's not me.
I can't remember either.
Yeah,
We had to save them. We had to rescue him. He was abducted by someone for something.
Abducted by someone?
I think it was like a bugbear or... Wait.
I was captured by a
it was
bugbear.
the Black Spider.
Well, there's rumours of the Black Spider collecting all sorts of manner of dwarves in all walks of life, and taking maps and other bits and pieces from them as well.
Well, apparently
And
they had a
Sildar,
map for something.
Sildar then pipes up. I will say, my friends, Gundren himself, of late, before our encounter along the high road and the Tribord Trail, was very excitable about something. He'd said he'd made an alarming new discovery, and he had to get back to his brothers post-haste. They were apparently waiting for him at the mouth of some cavern system that he just reopened after all this millennia. Redoth sort of stews over everything Sildar's just said and crosses over to another part of his room and pulls what looks like a very old, worn, weathered tome off the shelf. All the while this is going on, Iano is sort of craning his neck and trying to sit up straight and listen in on what's going on. As Redoth flips through the pages, flip, and he comes to a section of the book and he just blows, and this cloud of dust and crap just goes absolutely everywhere. I wonder, my friend, if our good friend Gundren has stumbled upon the place of the Phandelver Pact.
Phandelver? We were in there a few days ago.
You were in Phandelver?
Yeah, I had about 9 beers there in the...
And Sildar chimes in. Yet, Ned, my dear, you mean Phandalin?
Yes.
Phandalin is a town. Redoth, please, if you wouldn't mind, continue. The Phandelver Pact, my friends, was an ancient prophecy, an ancient, amalgamation between dwarf and elf, where they had discovered a magical font inside a cave system known only as Wave Echo Cave. And the Wave Echo Cave, the Phandelver Pact, was where dwarf and elf would work together to create magical, wonderful artifacts, things of great beauty, great power. But there was an uprising, and there were some orcs that had moved in off the high mountains to try and take the Wave Echo Cave for themselves. War broke out, and in the battle, an earth-shattering quake of epic proportions caused a cave-in, and the cave has been lost forever. If what Gundren has found is true, and he has indeed found the entrance to Wave Echo Cave, there'd be no reason for the Black Spider to want anything else. If the Black Spider should get his hands on this Wave Echo Cave and the magical font within, well, who knows what would about that would spell doom, surely, for the entire Sword Coast.
Okay. I have a plan. But it involves you.
Me?
Yes.
How can I assist you?
Well, you know the story about Wave Echo Cave. We need to find Gundren. And yeah. So
Well, you need to find Gundren. Oh, where on earth did you last see him?
excuse me. I do not live in a town. I am a dragon.
Well, where was he last seen then? Where was Gundren last seen?
I've never seen him.
Yeah, me either. I'm a dragon.
Sildar lifts his hand. He and I were travelling along the high road, and we were attacked on our horses, and I was dragged off to the Cragmore's hideout, and Gundren was taken somewhere, and that's when Redoth cuts Sildar off, grabs him by the wrist. Did you say the Cragmores? And Sildar nods. The Cragmore goblins and the Cragmores are a vile, despicable race of orcs and goblins and bugbears that mean nothing but absolute filth and go around causing all sorts of treachery.
Well, I actually saved Sildar from the place that we're talking about.
From the Cragmores? Yes. You didn't find any evidence of Gundren at all?
No, but...
And Sildar grabs Redoth and says, yes, actually, there was the leader there, some foolish oaf of a bugbear, had a note from King Grohl. And Redoth then has a recognition, and he throws the tome with all the information about Waybaker Cave, just throws it into the corner, and he rushes around and he grabs a couple of scrolls and he pulls out a long tube, pops the top, and pulls out what looks to be a map of the Sword Coast area. And now, here, and he goes over to where Iano is sort of leaning on a side table and just literally goes to smack and knocks Iano flying to the floor, clears him away the table, unrolls this map. And now, my friends, if it's the Cragmores that may or may not have trouble in this, and maybe they've been employed by the Black Spider as well, who knows, then it's most likely Gundren may have been taken to the castle, to Cragmore Castle. And King Roll must have him in his possession. You'll find the castle here. And he points to a place at the south of the Neverwinter Wood, and a place that is marked with old castle ruins and things as well. And there's a scroll that's in common that says Cragmores beware. And it sort of looks like it's an area that's not too far from where you had your wagon chase, as it were. My understanding, my best bet would be that if you made your way to Cragmore Castle, you would find Gundren, find his map, and put a stop to this nonsense before the Black Spider can get his hands on Waybaker Cave.
Sure.
Okay. I need to make a deal with you.
What for?
If you can help us find Gundren, I will give you about, let me say...
Don't be silly. This is not about money or reward or financial incentive.
But
It's about the fate of the entire Sword Coast. I will escort you to Cragmore Castle. I am quite happy to do so. But there is another problem. And
what?
right as he says that, there's this... from outside. We can't go anywhere with that circling over our heads.
Nitro?
Yes?
I think the dragon might have eaten our, stick figures.
Probably. I'd say so.
And my teeth are not good for making another one.
Okay. Mr. Old Person, I can't remember your name. Sorry, it's been too long.
It's read off, you young upstart.
Okay, cool. Yes, you say young, but anyway. Do you have anything that can aid us on this journey, or at least get us out of here for the time being? Spells, weapons, magical items, anything that can get us out of here?
There might be a way, but you would have to use your horses and move rather quickly southward, as quickly as you can. I may be able to bring the canopy of trees a little closer in these parts to make a more dense forest for you to escape through. But it would only last for a short while.
I mean, I can help us by guiding through the forest as well. I do know the forest quite well, so as long as people are following me, I can help us move more swiftly through that area as well.
I live in the forest, so yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, well, it's up to you if you want to jump on horseback with Nitro leading. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to drag your horses back through from the back through here as Redoth sorts of gathers his bits and pieces, and he puts on like a little shoulder bag that has a few bits and pieces and some components in it. He also gathers a map and puts that under his arm, and then he sort of looks around and he's there is another little snag here. We only have so many horses. I have none of my own. Who am I going to be riding with?
You can ride with me.
I was going to say, I'm smaller.
It makes never mind to me. I've spent enough time around dragons, I guess, so another one won't hurt. And he goes and jumps on board.
Yeah, I'm only 6 years old, so
all right.
Yeah.
So while this is happening and the exchange is happening, he grabs a few components and gets ready to cast this spell. And he puts all the components together and holds them, cups them, and mutters an incantation that is intelligible. You can't tell what he says. And as he does, he then opens his hands, and this like flash of green just sort of spews forth from his fingertips, and the trees across the side slowly start to enclose. Just slowly. It's not loud. It's just this crack, crack, crack as they all start to bend inward, and it's almost an unnatural curve as they form this almost cone tunnel that leads ever southward. And when he's done, you can see he's quite taken. The energy is drained out of him a little bit. My friends, we must hurry. This will only hold for a short while, and I cannot be able to control it if it starts to fade. We must go with haste.
I'll pat the neck of my horse and I'll be like, okay, now let's show them how to do this. Let's go, and I'll take the lead.
Okay, let's just.
All right, so Nitro and Yetnet are leading the way as you make your way forward, followed by Sildar with Yano on horseback as well. As you make your way forward, and then you hear Redoth talking to you. My friend, there is one other thing you need to mention. You must be very careful as we go southward. We can't go too far southward without banking to the west. And as you ride forward, you keep riding. Are you listening to what I'm saying, my young friend?
Yes. All right, don't have to yell. We don't want the venomous friend whooping off.
Venom Fang.
You hear another screech, but it is further in the distance. You are sort of spreading yourselves and getting a bit of distance between you.
Are you passing that message to me as if because I am leading the charge?
Nitro's in front of you. You going to tell him
Yes.
what Redos just said?
What did he say?
You must go south and then southwest. Don't go too far
You
south.
must go south and then you must go southwest.
Okay. So there's a path to the west, is there, that I need to take instead of the straight south?
You can go straight south, but you can go to the west if you want. It's not a path as such. It's all effectively just open and forest land as you make your way down towards the Neverwinter Wood. And if you want to break west, it's entirely up to you.
Yes, I'll follow direction.
Okay. You have a special ability, I believe, in relation to undead. Is that correct?
To undeads, I believe I do. Where is it? Favored foe. Yes, undeads.
And that allows you.
It's easier for me to track them,
Okay.
and it's easier for me to kill them.
Yep. So in terms of as you start to bank westward, you notice that as you look further south, where you would have been riding, you can see that there is bits of grass, bits of trees that look like they've got some form of necrosis on them. And you can sort of sense that, okay, maybe the message that's been passed, while it wasn't complete or necessarily full of information, that you've definitely dodged a bullet as you've made your way west. And you can see in the distance, if you wanted to, you could actually make your way fully out onto the high road and then follow that down towards the southern end of the Neverwinter Wood, or you can stay to the tree line and keep on going south that way.
I think we'll stay to the tree line so we're out of sight, just in case this thing's catching up.
Yep, sure. So you bank forward, and you can hear the screeching in the background from the dragon get less and less and less, and to the point where it becomes non-auditory. You can't hear it anymore. And then you're about halfway, probably, the journey. And you can see that there is the distance. You can see the light starting to fade as nighttime is starting to set in. It's up to you whether you feel it's safe to dismount and have a break, or if you want to carry on.
I think it's worth stopping and resting and recuperating our strength.
Yeah, stop and have a rest. Yeah. All right. So you dismount and you set up camp. Sildar looks a little bit out of breath and worse for wear. Iano has a couple of fresh bruises from being knocked from the table and also from the pounding of the horse, as well as his cheeks and his chest, obviously smacking against the horse's butt. And Redoth is obviously sort of a bit agitated, a bit excited. He's sort of a bit worried, and he pulls Sildar aside. Well, is this what you do all the time? It's actually rather fun. And Sildar sort of looks at him and says, "It's not always fun, young man, I can tell you that much."
Just a minute ago, Rudolph, you were yelling at me like crazy.
Well, you have to forgive me. I don't get out much, nor do I have much company, and I don't know how to interact with people. It's a curse.
You should come out to Phandelver with us and have a couple of beers.
Well, we've got some more pressing matters to get onto, I suppose. And you all start to set up camp, and you basically make... is there anything else you want to do before you turn in for the evening?
No, just a little bit of rest, I dare say, is all I need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bit of rest?
Yeah, until mornings.
Okay.
Double check those bindings on our tied up friend. Make sure he's not getting loose.
Yeah, sure. So Iano is still tightly bound. He's not going anywhere. You basically, you all bed down for the night, but Iano is left to the side without a blanket, and he sort of grumbles, and you can hear him grumbling in his sleep against the gag in his mouth as he's sort of quite uncomfortable. And you drift off, start to drift off to sleep. And what I will do is get you both to quickly roll perception checks, please.
19 total.
19, yep.
16.
Ooh, you both rolled well. Okay, cool. So you've been sleeping for a little while. It's not quite long enough to complete a long rest, but it will be enough to move on as we move forward. Nitro, you hear it first, but Yetnet, you hear it as well. You hear a rustling, and there's a bit of a sort of a chink as well, a slight chink, and it's enough for you to sense that something isn't quite right in camp. It's enough to wake you up.
I'm gonna make sure my little Drake friend is awake next to me, and I'm gonna get my longbow ready and see what I can see.
So you can see? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna wake Silka and blah blah blahs over there.
Read off, yeah. Okay, are you gonna get up and wake them, or are you gonna try and be sneaky about it?
I'm gonna do that and then poke, 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 poke.
Okay, so while that's happening, Nitro, you've woken your Drake, and you sort of trying to be aware of what's going on. You're aware that there is a figure that is huddled over the saddlebags of the horses. You can't make out the
draw
figure.
and shoot.
Draw and shoot. I need you to roll stealth to make sure you can do it without being hurt.
26.
That will do it well and truly. So you effectively have an attack of opportunity surprise. Roll your attack.
So that's a surprise attack, you said.
Mm-hmm.
So with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a total of 22.
22 definitely hits.
Is it undead by chance?
No.
Cool. Well, that's going to be some good damage. 11 points of damage as I shoot it, and I'll send my Drake after it as well.
Okay, question.
Try and wound it more so. I don't want to really kill it.
Okay.
That was your question.
So, what's the matter? Okay, all right. We're just about done. Okay, you need to go. That's fine. Okay. So you pull back and you loose off very suddenly this arrow. You hear this, and this figure falls backwards onto their back and rises around. The bolt has gone through the thigh, and they're screaming and squealing and everything else. Everyone else then wakes up and sees what's going on, and there's this goblin who has the most disgusted look on their face. They've got handfuls of gold that they're trying to then press and put pressure on this wound, this arrow bolt that's gone through. And you can see that their teeth are razor sharp, and they have this strange sort of vest on that has a few symbols and things on it as well. And that's when Redoff sees what's happening. You're one of those Cragmore goblins! And that's where we'll finish for tonight, folks. You got a Cragmore goblin captured, ready to go. I will say too, folks, you have both leveled up as well, which is fantastic. So you'll be leveling up. I'll give you a full breakdown of the experience and stuff later on. We will roll our hit points and stuff off camera and be ready to potentially take down Cragmore Castle in our next session, which won't be next Friday, unfortunately. It'll be the Friday after, so stick around and stay with us for that. Look out on the YouTube channel. You'll see when the video goes live. There you go, folks. We dealt with the dragon, we travelled south, and we're getting ready to take the fight and finally maybe find out what happened to our friend Gundren. As always, Charlotte, thank you very much for playing tonight. Much obliged.
Mm-hmm.
She's too busy levelling up and gaining experience at the moment. Thank you very much, Mr. Ben Wood, for sticking with us tonight.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it, as always. Absolute pleasure. And we will be back in probably a week, maybe 2 weeks, when we do a bit more crazy fun times. Until then, folks, thank you very much. Get out there, play more games, be social. We'll see you back here very soon. It is bye for now.